Yo, what's going on? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in chat. What's going on, man? What's going on? Hold up. Let me check my audio. I just hooked it up. Are we loud? We clear? We good? I see we got 38 folks in here. Comment if we're good. YouTube doesn't support comments on private videos. I'm an idiot. All right. There's some way to fix this, right? Damn it. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Can you hear me? How we looking? How we sounding? How we sounding? We sound clear? How we looking? How we sound? All right, I can see myself. We're definitely on the air. What's going on? What's going on? Good evening, everybody in the building. What's going on? Connie, Gypsy, what's going on? Susie, I see you. Gyps, Cali Thunder in the building. Delana, Nancy, the other Aaron. How you guys doing? Hello, Trev family. What's going on with you guys tonight? 2 cents. Wait a second. I'm making tuna salad. Shit. Don't forget to bring me some. I need some of that tuna salad. You know? Crime on a dime. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody in here tonight. Damn, that's loud. That about hurt my ears. I need to get the mic. There we go. We sound good though. I changed my interface, so yay. What's up? What's going on, Brooke? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Just Susie thoughts in the building. Carrie's 2 cents. How you been? Nice to see you. Upstate housewife from New York. Shout out to New York. You know, the Giants suck, but I'm just playing. Hold up. Kathy Baker, Ghost Devil. What's going on, Ghost Devil? I gotta know. Clear communication. Hopefully this sounds better. Maybe the preamp made it sound better. It should sound better, clear. You know what I mean? We should be on point. But I do want to hop into the story right away about the little boy that was found in the alligator's mouth, because that story is crazy, right? Not only is it crazy, but how can a father kill a 2-year-old baby? I mean, we said the same thing with Quentin Simon's mom, right? And you know, they say innocent till proven guilty. Same with him, right? To the court system. But I mean, he's in the hospital. He's got wounds on his hands. He's got wounds, you know what I mean, or wounds wherever, right? Which I would think on his hands, since he stabbed the mother to death. So what did he do with the boy? What do we think he did with the boy? Did he drop the boy off over here at a park to play at, because there was a park right by where he was at? And shout out to JLR, because he did great coverage on it. He was live on the scene at the father's house. He was live on the scene at the memorial with the kid, which I watched every bit of it. If y'all were there, you probably see me there because I was in the comments. Thank you, Riley. Shout out to you. What's going on, Rebecca? Welcome. Osmic, what's going on? Michelle Mouse, Happy Faces, how you doing? Shar, nice to see you. But yeah, I mean, what did you guys see that story about Taylor Mosley, the 2-year-old boy that was found in an alligator's mouth? Did you guys see that? It man, that, I mean, it's heart-wrenching, right? Kathy, I seen you over there. Shout out to Kathy Baker. Nice to see you here, Kathy. Steven, what's going on, buddy? Thank you, Delana. Sound great. Good. I'm glad we sound great, because I'm tired of the staticky shit. So I had to get a new interface. But yeah, hold up, to be watching live all day and it ended was so sad, right? I was watching lives all day too. Actually, shout out to Delana, because she's the one who dropped the case in Discord, and it caught my attention for some reason. I went straight to the press that she dropped in there. I started watching it, and I was looking. I'm like, damn. So okay, you got the mother dead, father in the hospital with some type of wounds, stab wounds on it. I don't. It was just super weird. Like immediately, I said, father. You got the father in there getting treated for little wounds on his hands and shit. Like he got admitted there. There's no telling what the other wounds was, but what it tells me is that the mom put up a fight, right? And he's not gonna get treated well in a Florida prison. He's just not. It's not gonna happen. Florida is gonna beat his ass. Let's see. Katie Bug, I seen you over there too. It was heartbreaking, right? It was heartbreaking. Just dumped him, in my opinion. Now, the thing that I want to know is, did he just drop the kid off there? Either way, it's wrong. You drop, even if you just dropped him off and were like panicking because you just killed his mother. He could have been panicking because he just killed his mother, right? He could have been panicking. Is that the case? I don't know. I'm interested on knowing if that was the case. Lady Boss Brooklyn, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in here. Give a round of applause for y'all, man. Thank you. I appreciate all y'all coming by. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Make sure it's all free 99. Michelle Mouse said it was so sad that he was all together. He was all together and deceased. I wonder if he drowned first. Very good question. It sounds like he did, in my opinion, and speculating like either one, like, did he get dropped off there and he ran and got into the water? I don't know. I highly doubt that. I think he was thrown in that lake deliberately. I mean, that's what it. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't even. When I think about it, it's crazy. When I think about it, it's crazy. For the fact that an alligator had this kid in his mouth, like it's disturbing images, right? Barbara says, I think he thrown him in the lake. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he did something to him beforehand. Father was Baker acted in ER. I keep having a vision of black shiny bag as if he suffocated him and put him in the lake. I was just, that's funny you said that, Upstate, because to be honest with you, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't get a vision or anything, but I was thinking, damn, like he did something and dismembered his own child, which is not dismembered him like that, but got rid of him, threw him away like a piece of trash. And if it was like, they need to bring, for people like that, they need to bring that death penalty to Florida. I don't think Florida has death penalty, from what JLR was saying when I was over there. Athena, hello, nice to see you again, T-REV. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Leave the child at the hospital if you don't want them. Correct. Right? Because there's somebody that'll always love that child. It's horrible. I don't understand why parents keep hurting these sweet, innocent babies. I'm with you on that. There's no answer for it. We'll never know the answer behind what makes somebody kill someone. We'll never know that. No, I think he killed him first. Crime on a Dime says, you think he killed him first? I mean, I don't think. Maybe he could have. Maybe he could have. You could be right. There's no telling what happened there first. But all we know is the mother's dead and the baby's dead. And it's ridiculous. He looks evil, has that blank stare. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to pull his mugshot up here in a minute. I'm pretty sure his name is Thomas Mosley. Thomas Mosley was picked up on 2 charges of murder. He was at the hospital. He was not cooperating with police during the searches, which shows me a red flag immediately, right? Were they able to get the baby at all? Yeah, they got the baby out of the alligator's mouth. The alligator dropped the baby, and they were able to recover him fully. They had to kill the alligator, though. So they had to actually shoot and kill the alligator to get the baby. It's a crazy thing. I agree. Shannon says, Mom was stabbed over 100 times. This is such a disgusting, heartbreaking, disturbing case. Absolutely. Soybean says, they said the body was intact, making me think he was thrown in after. Let's check out the clip real quick. Let's run it.
Breaking news on News Channel 8.
The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Talen's body intact.
An unthinkable outcome to the search for this little boy. Tonight's shock and grief for a St. Petersburg family. Good evening. I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. In the last few hours, we have learned that awful news that 2-year-old Talen has died. The search began 48 hours ago.
Well, 2 cents. I'd like to speak back on that. You said the alligator part was a lie. I don't think that would be a lie if a fisherman has seen such a thing, right? So let's go back to it being a lie. JLR pulled up to the scene with video camera right where the kid was found at and looked right into the lake, and there was a baby alligator. He said he's seen a bunch of alligators there, but they were all nothing but 3 feet, 4 feet long, 2 feet maybe. I remember watching the live that JLR did at the memorial and seeing those alligators. The alligator was actually a smaller alligator. It wasn't huge, right? There was tons of small alligators out there.
When his mother was found brutally murdered in their
Father needs
apartment.
death penalty.
Taylon's body was found tonight at Dell Holmes Park, several miles from where he and his mother lived.
That's
the boy's
crazy.
father now faces 2 murder charges.
News Channel 8's Trevor Sahaki is joining us live from the park tonight. Trevor, I know you were there when the chief gave this update. Just terrible news to share with everyone.
Yeah, Keith, unfortunately, this is the outcome no one wanted to see. Police said their investigation led them here to Lake Magary, where they had been searching all day and finally found
What's
young
up,
Taylor
Darlene?
just a few hours ago. Family of both Taylon Mosley and Passion Jeffrey are grieving
You're
tonight
welcome.
after Taylon was found dead.
There's my condolences going out to the family and to his loved ones. We are sorry that it had to end this way.
St. Pete Police Chief Anthony Holloway said detectives saw an alligator with an object in its mouth at Dell Holmes Park. That's across town from the apartment where Jeffrey was stabbed to death.
They fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylon's body intact.
Okay, so they do
Taylon's
have
father, Thomas Mosley, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for both Taylon and Passion's deaths.
We didn't want to find him this way, but at least we can bring some closure to that family now.
Earlier today, that family spoke about mother and son.
He's always calling his mom on his cell phone.
Yep, always.
He miss his mom. They call each other all the time. She really loved Taylon.
Police don't know how Taylon got to the lake or the cause of death for the toddler.
We just want to say that Taylon is a beautiful little boy. And he's really loving and caring.
According to Chief Holloway, Thomas Mosley is still in the hospital. Police said Wednesday, the last time Passion and Taylon were seen alive, was Mosley's 21st birthday.
What's up, Michael Blade?
And Chief Holloway said that while he appreciated everyone coming out and trying to help find young Taylon, of course, that's no longer necessary now, unfortunately. Police said that they're not discussing right now, I should say, the motive for Mosley, and did add that he asked for a lawyer. Live in St. Pete, Trevor Sahaki, 8 on your side.
Thank you, Trevor. And you can see all the latest details on this investigation, including more reaction from the St. Petersburg police chief.
Man, let's look at dude, right? Watch. This is the guy right here. Some of you probably haven't ever seen this case, and some of you have. I've seen you guys over at the other lives that I was in. Now, this is, I don't even really want to put, yeah, at least this is by himself. I don't even want to put him next to that child. I don't even want to put his picture next to that child. It doesn't, no way. All right, so let me put this right here. This is him right here. This is the PERT sperm donor. This is him right here. Now, I mean, body language. I mean, I don't know, man. He's got the eyes, the stare. What do we seeing a lot of different killers. He's got that look, right? Did the father kill the little baby, or was it the alligator? See, that's the thing, Joy. Those answers aren't out there. We can only speculate. Now, being the kid wasn't in custody with the father, I think the father dumped that boy off there. I really do. I think he dumped that boy. I think he dumped little boy off there, and whether he was alive or dead, I don't know that answer. And I'm sure it'll come out at some point, maybe not. Dino says, so it was the alligator, not his friend named Gator. I don't know. I can't laugh at that. My goodness, that sweet little baby. Warm welcome from all. Thank you, Callie. Unless someone saw him literally feed him to the gator, right? If someone saw that, don't you think they should have told something or said something? I don't know. I don't think nobody's seen that, because if you think about it, he couldn't really feed him to the gator. All right, so let's say hypothetically he fed him to the gator, right? That little boy would have never been intact. That gator would have had him ripped to pieces within 10 to 25 minutes. I feel like if there was nobody shooting at him or coming after the gator would have ate that boy. I'm glad the family at least got the little boy back in one piece and was able to properly bury him, right? Let's see. Hey everyone, welcome, Brooke. R.I.P. Precious little baby, or Precious baby and mother too. All this is sad, y'all. Now this is the dude. Now alligators take the prey that they catch and store them in the water nest, in their water nest. We have to do some alligator studying. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for the gator. He was just chilling being a gator and was killed for just being and doing what they do. I don't blame the gator at all. There's no fuck the gator, no alligator. You know what I mean? I'm not even speaking in that language, because a wild alligator is a wild alligator, right? You can't change that. The only thing you could do is stay away from that. Crazy eyes, right? So I mean, what do you guys say? This is the monster right here. What do you think about this monster? Look at it. He's got the evil eyes, the stare, the look. I wonder what his injuries were. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like he had a big struggle. It sounds like mom put up a fight. If he's got extensive wounds to the point that he was admitted in the hospital. Now, I don't know if he was admitted mentally or if he was admitted based off the wounds that he had. Now, that part, I don't know. What a target. He's going to be in jail. Absolutely. I think he'll spend that time in PC, though, to be honest with you, Nocturnal. I think that he'll go straight to PC when he gets to prison. People in there are waiting for him. Trust me. They're waiting for him. They watch the news. If you don't think they watch the news in prison, they watch the news. And they'll see this guy. And they'll get the word. And they'll screw this dude up in jail. Bad. They'll do him dirty. My man looked straight out of sight. What Psycho? Hold up. Tammy Fletcher says, "Yep, T-REV, he sure does look at those eyes. It's those evil eyes." I mean, we see that a lot with serial killers or killers in general. Not a serial killer. He killed 2 people, but I mean, there's no telling if he has before or not. He probably threw the body or the baby in the water post-mortem. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think so too. He was deceased and then disposed of in the water for a little boy. If anybody wants to call in, you can call in at 219-885-9693. Actually, just open the lines. I wasn't even thinking about it. That's if you want to. You don't have to. There's a lot of other shit we could talk about too. Seems like there could be a camp going around, being a lake. Do alligators eat something that's not moving? I don't know anything about them. I don't even want to speak on that. I've seen videos on gators. I've seen a guy and his wife that actually have a channel on YouTube that go around and they catch wild gators. They catch wild gators all the time. What? Hold on. I got a message. 1 second. There we go. Had to fix my damn phone. What a heartless monster of a human. I don't know. I'm about to get human off my damn. 772. What's going on? You live? You can hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Tate.
Yeah, you're live.
This is Donna No, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the alligator.
Yeah, tell us about him.
Okay. Well, I live down here in Florida, so things I've learned: an alligator will not eat a live thing.
Okay.
If they, like, there was a lady got eaten here not too long ago, and what the gator will do, it will grab its prey, it will pull it into the water, it will take it into like a spiral down under the water and drown it. I'm sorry to say this, I hope the parents aren't listening, my family. And then after it's deceased by drowning, the gator will kind of toss it up on the side till it kind of rots. And then the gator will eat it. So either the boy was deceased before he was put in the water, or he was left by the pond, the gator grabbed him, pulled him in the water, took him down and drug him, and was waiting, and drug him down, drowned him, and was waiting on him to decay for the alligator to eat. That's how they operate.
Wow, that's interesting. So they got like a nest or something, you said?
I didn't put the part about the nest, but they do have an area where they'll take and toss whatever they've drowned so that it will decay somewhat prior to eating it. So I hate to say, but I hope, this is a horrible thing to say either which way, but I hope he was deceased before the alligator got him, because that would just be even more traumatic.
Wow.
And as far as the father goes, he two-hour psychiatric hold. Now, they may have just done that because the police knew it was him and they just, wanted to keep him there. Correct.
Right.
Or he could have had a cut bad enough that required surgery. He might have been in surgery for a while. So there's a couple possibilities there.
So it's possible that he was in surgery, you think?
I mean,
mental health, maybe he went in there, was like,
he definitely was Baker acted, which means 72-hour hold for psychiatric. That part was confirmed by the police. Now, whether or not he required surgery and it took that, that's why there was a delay charging him and all that. I don't know about that part. I'm just guessing. At first, I was trying to guess why he was still in the hospital. You get a cut in the ER, you stitch it and treat it. You send them back out. You don't keep them unless it's a really bad cut. So,
they must have been deep. If they kept him like for medical reasons, he must have had some deep ass cuts. Like must have been a strong struggle for that knife or something.
And if he stabbed her 100 times, it's very possible he could have cut himself severely. So,
I mean, how much rage you gotta have to spaz out like that and do that? That's a lot of friggin' rage inside of that. That dude needs to.
Well, what the police said, that it wasn't the first time he'd been Baker acted, so he has a psychiatric history. This is not new, and it was on his birthday. He turned 21 that day. The father.
Please tell me that in Florida, do they have insanity plea?
I don't know, but I know they have the death penalty.
So they do.
I think we do have the insanity plea, because I think the suitcase lady's trying to do that.
I think he's going to try to do that.
Yeah, especially if he has a history, but I don't know. That's 100 times. And just a side note, I wanted to, because this has been going through my head. If this was a vicious stabbing and there was, a horrible crime scene, blood everywhere, that means that Idaho 4 had to be way worse than this. You're talking 4 people as opposed to 1.
Thank you.
But that's not what we're talking about. But
I mean, we're talking all things true crime. We're talking. It could be Idaho 4, Talon, any true crime case. We talk about it here on the. That's why I made True Crime Time with T-REV, so we can talk about whatever we want. You know what I mean? We may go from one case and be on another case in the next couple. You never know.
Yeah, they're all kind of connected somehow. They're all nuts. But I wanted to tell you that about the alligator for sure, because I do know that. They had a kid at Disney. A little boy was at Disney, and there was a pond, and that's what happened. The gator snatched him, and then they found him after the gator, they take him they drag him down to the bottom of the pond in like a spiral spin and drown him. And then they put him up on the side there in their nest, we'll call it. And
so they, in other words, they play with their food pretty much. It's like they store it or.
Yeah, they don't eat it fresh or live.
Okay.
So the little boy either it's possible the guy just threw him out of the car and the gator just found the kid, or it's possible that the man killed the child and tossed it in the pond. Either way, I'd say he's responsible. Let the kid there unattended.
I was asking, do we know if his wounds were defensive wounds or self-inflicted? Now,
Sounds like if
I
she
feel
was
like
stabbed 100.
I feel like if it was defensive wounds, right? And I know this is I gotta know, correct?
Yeah.
I feel like if it was defensive wounds, there would be no reason for you to even run or go to the hospital or drop your kid off in the middle of nowhere when you could probably drop your son off with the parents, the family, something you could have, you know, I don't know. Maybe.
Correct. And he did go to his mother's house after the stabbing of the wife and before the child was found. Because I believe the mother, now this part I really am not clear on, but I understood the mother may have notified the police, and I'm sure the ER nurses or doctors, called the police.
Such evil times we live in. I mean,
and if it was defensive wounds, I mean, I just don't see her. If she got stabbed 100 times, he would have had to been stabbed 200.
Exactly. He would have had to been stabbed. I mean, think about it. I don't know what it was about or why he even. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they lived together. They said she had just gotten her own place, and they did the FaceTime with the grandma every morning, and the grandma called and couldn't get a hold of her and was surprised. So she called the man that runs the apartment complex, and he went to the apartment and found the mother, the woman who died. But at that point, they didn't even know there was a child for a while because everything was so confused. And when I was here on, I think it was Friday night, we got the Amber Alert came across our phones here for him.
How far?
So it took a minute
away from where the location he was at. Are you?
I'm on the other coast. I'm about probably 2.5, 3 hours. He's over by Root.
Okay. So that's not that far.
No, it's about 3 hours at the most.
Yeah, he definitely.
But it was supposedly a gated community, but the gate didn't work. People were complaining about that. I don't see where that's would have made a difference, but maybe.
I don't know. I
don't
think he was dropped off. I think he was disposed there. I feel like.
Yeah, maybe the guy knew the gators were there and thought this would be a good place. Because if that gator had completed the process, you'd have never found any parts or pieces.
Right. Exactly.
No.
He'd have been gone.
And a 3-foot alligator could eat a 2-year-old without any trouble at all.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen what I'm talking about on JLR's, but he was live out there at the location, zoomed in on the alligators. He was
well, it's also mating season, I think. I think we're in mating season for the gators. And there's gators everywhere. They're everywhere. I mean, like you could say they're not, but just because like I heard some people talking on one of the police things like, well, it's like a place where people live, it's a regular apartment complex or it's a lot of people live there, so there's no gators. That's just not true. That'd be like saying there's no snakes. They're everywhere. So it's a beautiful little baby and a beautiful mama, and my heart goes out to the whole family, and that's everything I just wanted to say, and just offer up some prayers.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, well, I'll let somebody else call in. You carry on.
Well, I'll definitely carry on. You know how it is. Where's Sal at? Where's Papa Sal been at? He's hiding.
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a couple of days. He'll be back. He's working his way through some things, sounds like.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely working through some stuff. That's for damn sure.
Tincture of time.
Exactly. Well, thank you for calling, and I gotta know. I appreciate
it. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Lock your doors. You know the drill.
I do.
Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Give it up for I gotta know, If you want to call in 219-885-9693, all topics true crime, you know what time it is. If you got a case that's bothering you, talk about it. Parking lots under cars, be alert. Right. This is the worst. We're about 5 hours from where this happened. Got the Amber Alert Friday night. What kind of monster does this? How could this happen? We'll never figure out why people do shit like this. We'll never figure that out. I feel like we'll never get down to the bottom of what makes somebody snap and take someone's life. Never. Hold on, let me find this one video I was checking out too. This other case I was looking at. Actually, where's the I want to actually go to the take you guys. I want to show you what I'm talking about, right? And I know. Hold on, let me see. Let me go to the video real quick because I want you guys to actually see what I'm talking about. Did he have it up? It says two. Okay, suspects home. P. Search for. Okay, murder. There's no way that was 2 days ago, right? Latest. Okay. Boom, boom. Nope. I don't. That's not the video. That's not the video. That's not the video. Let's see. Okay, so this is just the search.
Okay, so that is the store.
That's just the search. Hold up. I'm actually looking for the video, but he don't have it up no more. Yeah, see, he don't have it up no more. That's weird. Yeah, he does actually have it. I want you guys to see. Okay.
Sad. These red balloons. We'll go over here.
All right, so look, when he walks over here, he's gonna show you the alligator. You'll see the alligators I'm talking about.
Here to the red balloons and just see for sure.
Let's see. Let's get up here.
Look how
there you go.
Look at that.
Okay, so there's the gator right there. What do you think the size of that alligator is, right? My smooth named man. Thank you. I gotta know. Papa Salah's in maiden season. Mac Pride. What's up, brother? How you been, man? Funny motherfucker. South North Paul. I have friends that live in Florida. Interesting. I got a few myself that live there. That alligator, but I don't know. That alligator might be 6 foot. Look at that gator. Shout out to JLR, by the way. This is JLR's channel. If you don't know who it is, make sure you go over there and subscribe, show some love, tell him T-REV sent you. But he was out there on the scene. I don't know. That gator was big. I must have hopped in this live late.
It's kind of neat to look at, though. That thing has to be no more than 2 feet.
2 feet?
See the alligator?
I don't know, JLR. That looks a little longer than 2 feet to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping because it's on video. What's the size of that alligator? About 3 feet? I think it looks like about 5 foot long. That definitely ain't just 2 foot. That's definitely at least 3.5 foot to 6 foot. I'm talking from head to end to tail. It's hard to tell with this video, right?
The baby one.
About 5 foot, same height as me. The tail's long. Look at the tail.
Scary.
Oh yeah, that's long. Yeah, no doubt.
But remember, too, people, they had to shoot the alligator to get that boy out of its.
Now he was zoomed in on that. He was zoomed in on the alligator too, though. So we gotta take that into consideration also.
Mouth. So an alligator lost their life in the process too, and you can't necessarily fault an alligator in that situation, because the alligator just sees these things. It's just bad. It's just bad across the board because these alligators are God's creatures.
Damn, that wind is crucial, boy.
The child out of that alligator's mouth. So at the end result, an alligator lost its life too because of what this guy did. Here is the
That joint looked longer than 2 feet to me, but I mean, he was. Yeah. What? Elbow like right. It's about.
Oh, look. This is a memorial site. Hey, Sean and Talon.
I would think this is around where they found him at, right? I think that's where I'd have to say. Come on, like why would they put the balloon and the bear there? Otherwise,
This might be it. It might have been here, or they're just they're putting it here. Could be here, or they just chose this spot, but I'm just going to get on my knees and just pay respect for a minute, so just bear with me.
usually you see signs that don't feed them. It's important not to. Right.
Pray.
Taylor Mosley. Crazy. Super sad. Gotta change my color.
Sad.
People do feed them. Bad move. I wonder what they get to him. Piece of shit killed that baby and put him in there because he knew the gator would get to him. Oh my god, this is sad. For sure. I was on this when he was there, actually. This was
They had this right on the beginning as you come into the park. I don't necessarily think this is the spot. This might be just where they decided. It could be the spot here. It could be the spot.
I know. We were saying the same thing. Jacob says, I think it's the biggest gator caught since the end. It was 19. Damn, that's long.
Somebody said it was the spot.
They walking the roads, yeah. I've heard of that.
I mean, normally that's the spot. So people are saying this is the spot.
You can't get no light out here?
So sad. He was found by a drainage canal. Okay, good to know. So, assuming this is the drainage canal.
They get in pools all the time where my aunt lives in Florida. That is crazy. There's some huge ones in Louisiana.
Don't know if this is the exact spot.
Also climb fences, be aware. All right, so if you also, I wanted to let you guys know if you're into paranormal and shit like that. I split up my channel because this is like my main channel where I do like music and true crime the most, right? So I have a second channel. So if you type in !, second channel, you can subscribe that way. That's where I do paranormal investigations and stuff like that. So if you're into that, make sure you hit !, second channel and subscribe over there. I will be doing like spirit boxes and stuff like that on my second channel. That's where I'll do all my spirit box work at, is on my second channel, on my paranormal investigation channel. So make sure you check that out. Excuse me.
But this is a drainage canal.
What up, Ami? Welcome.
And we saw baby alligator in there.
I think they should lower his ass into the water for the game.
And you know what? Keep in mind, people.
Feed his ass.
That everybody was wondering, an alligator has a child in its mouth. It could have been a baby gator like that size, that 2-foot gator that actually had the child, not a big gator, like when we assume a big gator. So we don't know the size of the alligator. If it was a little alligator, that might be the reason why.
Your ass too.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That could be the situation too on that one.
That's crazy. Now that's Lake Lagori, right? I'm gonna see if I can actually find a video on that. So Florida. Is it Lake Lagori? So I see Lake Placid. I found a hidden lake. I don't see no videos on it. I don't even know how it's spelled though either. So that could be another thing. So there's another case that I want to talk about. We're going to jump into this case right here. I want to talk about this case now. Now that we've seen this, everybody put in the chat, rest in peace, Taylor. There's another case that I want to touch on and talk about. And we're going to pull up a video on it. We're going to pull up a video on it. Now, I've been hearing about this case for a while. Nobody has been charged yet. Now, it doesn't make any sense to me, but the boy's name, he goes by Trent. I think it's Trent Lerkamp. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. But I've seen all about this case, and it's actually very heartbreaking when you think about it. It's like high school hazing. So it's crazy. We're going to put it on.
Now the latest on that disturbing story we brought you last night. A teenager in Georgia, by all accounts, tortured by a group of young boys he thought were his friends. Well, he's still hospitalized tonight. Now the FBI is joining the investigation, and we're learning the identity of one of those possibly involved. 19-year-old Trent Lerkamp was forced to binge on vodka and magic mushrooms. So-called friends also spray painted him, even urinated him. They then dropped him off at a hospital where he was fighting for his life on a ventilator. Now, we showed you this horrific picture last night of Trent sitting in a chair, unconscious and covered in spray paint and urine among other disgusting things. I mean, we don't even want to say all of it on TV. While other teenage boys just stood behind him making obscene gestures, like almost proud of it, taking a picture. It's really not easy to look at. As you can see, one of the faces is no longer blurred in that picture. The investigative team at our affiliate in Savannah has identified that one boy as Edward Hobby. And this isn't the first time he's been in trouble with the police. You see, he's got a mugshot. He was arrested last November, charged with criminal trespass, and spent 3 days in jail. Edward was 17 years old at the time. And to be clear, police, they have not charged him in connection with this hazing case. But he's likely a key part of the ongoing investigation into what happened to this teenager. The local community is demanding justice for the teen, calling for police to take action in the case. And earlier today, the local police finally spoke publicly about the incident. It's been 8 days, saying they've made some significant progress in the investigation.
The investigators that have been involved in this incident.
So let's put it like this. Why is nobody in custody, charged, or anything? I seen the pictures that are surfacing on the internet, and oh my goodness, have you guys seen them? Just let me know in the comments. I'm curious if you guys seen the pictures of what they did to this boy. They put this boy in ICU. Now, I don't know if you guys seen it, but this shit is demonic. Fuck a hazing, and you know that's the terms they use. But this is crazy. They put like vibrators on his lap, sprayed WD-40 on him. They tortured this kid, and allegedly he's autistic, is what I heard, really. But
have been working very diligently on collecting evidence, interviewing subjects, and at this point in time, we've identified all individuals that were involved in the video as well as the photograph of the victim sitting in the chair. That took a lot of time. We've collected a lot of evidence that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is going to be helping us analyze.
So no arrests have been made more than a week after the incident. It's still unclear if anyone will end up.
Sorry, I hate to break this to you, but if that was me in high school or middle school, high school, I would have been arrested. I got arrested in middle school for assault and battery and was on probation until I was 18. So there was no, you know what I mean? And it was a rich area. They made sure I got arrested and did time in juvie and all that for the assault and battery at school. Now, it's been how many days and nobody's got any charges or nothing, and they committed these acts on this kid. Oops, sorry for smacking the mic. But anyways, they committed these horrible acts on this kid. I haven't heard of this case. Really?
Up facing charges. This case sparked outcry in the community to the point where it is finally receiving national attention. It was initially called hazing, a word that it really just doesn't describe what happened. That's even what the officials initially called it. When you really research it and you look at the pictures and the videos, it's torture and it is assault. Earlier, I spoke with Erica Keller, who organized a GoFundMe page on behalf of Trent. She's also a close friend of the family. Erica, thank you so much for joining us. I know this has been such a difficult time for you and also for Trent's family. I can't even imagine. So many of us are just heartbroken over this story and also angry. First of all, I want to ask you how Trent is doing. I know at one point he was in the ICU. Is there any update on his condition?
So yesterday morning he was transferred out of the ICU actually, and he has a long road to recovery, so I can't say he's doing well, but definitely glad. I'm personally glad that he's out of, I'm sure we're all glad that he's out of the ICU right now. That's really good news.
Yeah, from reading the reports, I mean, when he first arrived at the hospital, he was just in a terrible, terrible condition. It's really a miracle that he's even alive. I was thinking, it's not just physical that he's going to have to recover from, but I mean, just the emotional aspect of going through this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thinking that these people are your friends and then having them absolutely abuse you, and I can't imagine sitting through that and just the laughter that he must have heard during everything that they did to him. It gives me chills. It really breaks my heart.
I know you're close with Trent's family. How are they doing right now?
They're holding up. They're very, very much overwhelmed with
hear about it, Holly.
What Trent has gone through. They're overwhelmed, but with all of the love and support that they're getting from everyone. I know that it was a dark few days after when Trent was in the ICU. So now that he's out and all of the support that he's been shown, I know that their spirits are a little lighter, but there's still so long to go from where we are right now.
Thank you for watching. Go to News.
Crazy. That case is crazy. Hold up. Let's pull up another video on it because there's more to it than that, right? They actually have the oh my goodness. I don't know if I want to play that one.
In the last hour, the Brunswick District Attorney's Office.
Let me look.
Drop Trent on his shoulder. People, schools, a place that you are willing to support.
Nah, I don't know about that one. Hold up. Right, so let's go to today. Nah, not that one. There's another one that I seen earlier. Where the hell is it? New details in horrific case. Yeah, I want to actually see this one. Play it full on. Now, this was the press conference. I need to see more because I've seen videos on it, but I've seen details that you guys typed in chat that I haven't even heard yet.
We've identified all individuals that were involved in the video as well as the photograph of the victim sitting in the chair. That took a lot of time.
You're welcome.
We've collected a lot of evidence that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is going to be helping us analyze. We've also looked at other aspects of this case. As of today, investigators with the Glenn County Police Department and the Georgia Bureau of Investigations continue to look into social media posts that have been supplied to the office. While we do appreciate the information provided by this source, there has been some misinformation that is spread via this medium as well, some of which to include the misidentification of individuals that were not involved in this incident, which has affected many families here in our local community. The misinformation that's provided via social media can hamper an investigation because we will follow up on every lead that we receive, no matter where it comes from, which means that the investigator is drawn from other assignments of critical information of importance to this investigation to further it by following false leads. Like I said earlier, currently forensic analysis is being conducted on the devices collected, as well as information that we received from search warrants. That information, as well as evidence, is being sent off to be analyzed by the GBI lab.
I do feel like this is this is clearly attempted murder, right? So anybody that was involved with what they did to this kid, they should get charged with attempted murder. Period.
This isn't going to be an overnight investigation. The incident occurred on Tuesday. It was reported to us, and here we are over a week later, and we're still investigating. If we could just make a case off of one single photo or one single video without getting any other type of evidence, then that would not be a thorough investigation. And in this investigation, we owe it to this victim and to his family to make sure we get it right. If a picture could say 1,000 words, then the 1,000 words that picture would say was, that's a horrible incident that occurred, that what that victim went through. We can't rush to judgment. We have to take our time on this, and that's what we're doing. In our society, we should have a zero tolerance for bullying and the mistreatment of others. That goes for any student, that goes for any parent, that goes for any adult. And all I could ask is that when you see something, you have to say something. A lot of this incident was revealed via social media. There were a lot of juveniles that were at both of these incidents, and nothing was spoken when they were occurring. So I would ask that folks not be afraid to speak up.
That's crazy.
This incident may not have even been reported if the victim didn't end up in the hospital, which is really sad. I want to thank all of our law enforcement partners that have assisted us in this matter to date. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations, our District Attorney's Office, the Glenn County School Police, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
Kid allegedly out of the country? Really? Where'd you hear that at? Creepy Crystal.
So we're not taking any.
That's funny you said that, Creepy Crystal. I used to live in Easton, PA. No, I'm not bullshitting you either. I used to live in Easton, PA. I was locked up in, Northampton County Prison, the one that's right there in town. That's where I did my time when I got in trouble. And that was when I was in my mid-20s. That was a while ago. But shout out to you in Easton, PA. I know that whole town like the back of my hand. All the way from down, when you go down into the circle, all the pawn shops out there. All the pawn shops, the restaurants, the bus station downtown. I know that whole area.
Anything off the table. We're looking at this investigation from a holistic point of view. Not only the parents that the home that this occurred in, but we're also looking into where the alcohol was obtained from.
I'm not showing that.
Any type of narcotics.
We also know that this has been named a hazing investigation by your department. Originally logged as an assault call.
It's amazing he's
dispatchers and then named the hazing incident in a press release from you all.
No misidentification. Crazy those kids should be in jail. They know who they are.
I would agree with you. This does not meet Georgia code for hazing because it
Right.
doesn't involve a public school event or organization that's related to a school. Our victim was an adult, as you're aware. The individuals that are involved.
You're saying you don't think they'll get charged with attempted murder? I mean, he literally almost died. They should be charged with attempted murder.
In this, other individuals that are involved in this thing are juveniles, so
That's
it
crazy.
would not rise to that definition. I agree.
And do you see yourself, the agency, arresting this, or do you believe that this will be a case presented to the grand jury?
We're going to collect the facts.
Excuse me.
That's our job. After we collect all the facts, then we'll consult with the district attorney's office, and
Right.
we'll allow him to make that determination.
Have you had other calls to that house previously before this? Any sort of other incidents?
No incidents of this magnitude or of this nature. We had a total of about 10 calls, I believe it was, from August or September of 2022 until a couple of days after the event. A lot of the calls that we had there revolved around or centered after this incident of
That's
officers
true,
going by
Brian.
doing neighborhood patrols and things of that sort.
Chief, was there a parent home while the drinking was taking place?
We're still investigating where we are on that.
Right.
There have been a number of threats that have been issued to there's been a list of families that may or may not be involved in this, not officially confirmed. I understand that.
What much more evidence do you need? There's a fucking video. There's pictures. You got faces. What video? I mean, what evidence do you need from there? I think just that alone should be enough to charge some of these kids. Now, are they trying to figure out which kids were involved? Okay, simple. Some of them that are in the fucking picture are involved, obviously. If you're standing right there, you were involved. So, for instance, if I'm out with my boy and I'm driving my boy around and he gets out and commits a robbery and then gets back in my vehicle, I'm just as guilty as him. Right? So what's the difference with these young bucks that did this to this kid and put him in ICU and he almost passed away? What is the difference? There is none. There's no difference in that. Everybody that's in the video, the pictures, all that shit, they should be arrested. They should be charged with attempted murder. What the fuck is going on? I don't get it.
Threats towards members of those families. Is that also being investigated?
We are going to look into that. Before I came into, I am aware of other folks that were misidentified that had nothing to do with this investigation. We will be looking into that if they make a complaint to our office.
Kidnapped and attempted murder, leaving those. Be safe, baby.
We're looking at the whole combination of things, not just the incident with him sitting in the chair or the incident where he's being water hose is being used on him.
Right.
But one of the things that we have to do is go back and re-interview our victim, right? We just recently had an opportunity to interview him for the first time back on Sunday. At that point in time,
shut up the screen.
Obviously, he was still being treated at a hospital. So we need to go back and re-interview him.
Might be live out on that channel after this live.
Video of him being hosed, are those two separate nights?
That is
going on, Wild
that is
Terry?
correct.
And the video of him being hosed, is that the night that the dad mentioned that he came home with Ayo spray paint WD-40 on him?
I don't know if we nailed that part down, but we have confirmed that those were two different nights or two different incidents.
Just happening in your community. The fact that it is so wrong, and I guess has so many people upset just seeing this. Here's what happened at.
No, I didn't go to Easton High School. No.
What do you say to people who are looking now at Lynn County across the country and saying, look what happened there?
I used to live on Main Street. That's funny you said that. I used to actually live on Main Street. I lived on Main Street. I know a lot of people. The dude named Dougie. I used to go to that Rite Aid all the time. I actually helped search for Jessica Paget. Now, I don't know if anybody in here is familiar with the Jessica Paget case. Jessica Paget was killed by her father, Gregory R. Graff. Gregory R. Graff, on one day, she went to the house to fax off some stuff on the machine, and he came up behind her, shot her in the back of the head, put her body to the side, hooked up cameras, and did you know what to her dead body. And then was out there shaking everybody's hand, helping us search while we were searching for Jessica Paget and talking to news stations and all that. This guy literally was out in our faces, smiling and all that other shit. There's actually an episode on it on See No Evil. We watched it the other night because I wanted people to see the area, but I knew that area like the back of my hand. That's a crazy situation, the Jessica Padgett case.
A sad and misfortunate event. I want
juvenile. That's what we were talking
the
about
rest of
earlier.
America, if you will, and from across the pond, to understand that we, the citizens of Glenn County, are mostly very good people, hardworking people. This is an isolated incident, and don't judge Glenn County by one group of juvenile teens.
That's crazy.
So in the hosing incident, water hose incident, I believe there were 11 juveniles. In the second incident, there were 9 juveniles. Obviously, in what do you call it? Some of those are duplicates, or some of the individuals are at both incidents.
Are there any possible charges that they could face as of now?
We're still working through that.
As of those people you've identified, the 11 and the 9, are all of them juveniles or some of them over the age of, I guess you would say, over the age of considered adults?
None of the individuals that we've identified would rise to that level.
Chief, just to clear up a individuals of the 11 juveniles and the 9 juveniles,
I'm trying to closely hear these questions.
They were.
Chief, just to clear up a misconception
So
that's online, and I apologize if you already answered.
make it make sense.
But a lot of people were posting that the victim was on the spectrum or, had a mental disability. Is that something
I'm on here right now.
So we have interviewed the victim as well as his family. There is no information that we've been provided to support that claim.
Global animals, criminal justice. Okay.
They are fully cooperative with this investigation.
What are some of the charges? If they were to charge, what would they look like? What would they be charged with?
I don't want to speculate on that. I want the facts to point where the facts show, and in consultation with the district attorney's office, we'll determine where we have enough probable cause to support a charge that's not only chargeable, but it's also prosecutable and it's winnable.
Making a petition right now.
We've only got time for 2 more questions. He's a busy man and we've got to go. We have a lot of things to take care of.
Can you tell us how many search warrants have been executed and in how many locations?
I think that weighs too much, provides too much information in regards to the investigation. I'm not going to release that at this time.
Chief, just regarding that, because I think you probably would like to let people in the community know you are here to speak to them and answer their questions about this, and aren't too busy to do that. Would you say to those people, especially those hundreds that gathered at that vigil the other night, the DA's office is asking for patience here, but they remember another case here where it took 74 days for someone to be arrested. What do you say to the people in this community that are so upset that this took days to come out into the public, and now we're a week later and they say that arrested them?
This event took days to come out to the public out of respect for the victim's privacy. We looked at that. It was requested of us. And this was an incident that was isolated, that we believe that we had no other public threat going on.
Is there any surveillance video?
Is there surveillance?
I got this.
Yes, there is.
Is there clarity to it, or is it?
I have not viewed it personally. The investigators are working with that, working with the hospital staff on that.
That video has already obviously circulated social media. Is that something that you all, as the police department, can do release on your behalf? Or is that something that?
I missed your question.
The video of social media has already circulated on social media. The video of Trenton being vulnerable. Is that something that the police department plan to release from the department itself?
Once we can, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's in the public forum on social media, but we're going to retain what we have here.
All these kids went to Glenn Academy. Are you going to be working with the school at all on trying to address this kind of behavior?
We've been working with Chief Rod Ellis with the school police on this investigation. That will be up to the school as far as what type of actions they take.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right. I got a petition made for him too. I actually just made a petition just now. Let me get this picture real quick. Let me get a picture of Trent. Where's a good picture? Let me get a good picture of Buddy right here. Okay, here we go. So I'll grab this, save image, Trent. All right, so I'm gonna put a petition out. We need justice for this. This kid needs justice. Trent, okay. Oh, save. What do you mean? Okay, there we go. Save that. Now I'm gonna put it on the petition. Make sure you guys sign this petition. I'm about to drop it in chat. I actually just made it just now. Up close up. It says use a up close image of a person or animal that conveys emotion. I don't want to use the pictures from what they did to him, but so I put up a decent picture of him. I'm gonna put up my number here. There we go. Actually, and if anybody wants to call in, I just made the petition. If anybody wants to call in, it's 219-885-9693. You want to discuss this? This is crazy. What do you think about this case in general? I'd love to hear from some of you. Create petition. Hold up. Preview. Let me preview it. So it says Trent Camp was almost killed in a hazing incident and no charges have been filed on the people involved. I put, we want justice. Please sign the petition if you agree that these kids should be charged for allegedly attempted murder. Thank you for supporting and signing this petition for justice for Trent. So I'm gonna create that. I want to see how many people are on board. Copy link. I created it. I'm dropping the link right now. Thank you for the idea. The Chicantique. There's a petition right there. Let's see how many people sign this petition. I want to see how many people sign this petition. I'm curious. That's crazy. They put antidepressants in his drinks, according to the article I read. Which article did you read? So this one right here says Georgia teen Trent Larkin speaks out after hazing incident left him in ICU. So it says the Georgia teenager who was left fighting. Hold on, let me make this bigger too so I can see it real nice. It says the Georgia teenager who was left fighting for his life on a ventilator after he was allegedly tortured during a spring break hazing incident has spoken out for the first time, insisting that justice will be served. Trent, 19, ended up in the hospital after he was allegedly forced to drink a dangerous amount of alcohol and eating hallucinogenic mushrooms at a spring break house party. The teen, who was also spray painted from head to toe in the horrifying ordeal, was dumped at an emergency room soaked in other people's urine after attending the rowdy gathering in the wealthy enclave of St. Simon's Island on March 21st. Okay. Now off the ventilator and stabilized, Trent said in a voicemail left for WSAV that it will take a long time for him to recover. I'm alive and doing well, Trent said in a message for the local station. It says, just know it's going to be a long time for me to get over this through the trauma, but one day, hopefully within the next few months, I might be back. And he said at the end of this message, he told the station justice will be served. He also said, so it said this too. The FBI joined the probe into the alleged torture last week. However, no charges have been filed yet. The boy's father, Mark, told police his son has dealt with repeated hazing and bullying by the same group of boys, but that he keeps hanging around them because he has no other friends. Videos and photos of the alleged hazing were shared widely across social media, leading to the outcry and anger by community members. It says a crowd of hundreds of people held a vigil for the soft-spoken teenager last Monday, where they held candles and demanded justice. So it says police are now referring to the incident as an assault, according to the Business Insider report. Glenn County Police Department intern Chief O'Neil Jackson said in a recent press release, all of the people in social media posts and photos tied to the incident have been identified. He said the probe is ongoing, and the department has no tolerance for bullying and mistreatment of others in the March 29 release. I find that to be bullshit, right? I don't think they're doing a good enough job. Exactly. That's enough to change, but maybe they're trying to get information. I did hear that one of the boys are a son of a law enforcement. Where did you hear that at? I'd like to check into that. For sure. I'd like to pull that up right now and dig into them. It's not a college. Those were high school punks that picked on a 19-year-old that has challenges. Right. So he's mentally challenged. T-REV, I love your passion. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. Sue. Sick in the head, for sure. One parent is an attorney, not law enforcement. So no change. You've been looking at it. They were trying to figure out how many were involved and charge everyone of them with attempted murder. I'm going to drop the link in here again. Make sure you go over there and sign it. I'm going to check it right now and look at it. Let me put this on my thing. Let's see here. Share this on the community too. Let's get to 5. It says nobody. This young man needs justice. Actually, somebody did, because they're already commenting on it. So I put a picture, justice for Trent. It says 0 have signed, but there's already comments under this, and I can see them already. This young man needs justice. This young man needs justice. Damn, multiple people are. So it's already been signed. I just don't. It just doesn't show me the amount of people that signed it. Maybe Trent is refusing to press charges because he's 19. Maybe I don't know though. Like how bad is his condition, right? How bad? What kind of autism does he have, right? I heard he's autistic or whatever, but to what degree? Other is business owner of several businesses in that town. No difference but politics. Some of the kids come from money and upper middle class families that will play a role as to who get charged with certain charges. That is what they're trying to find out. I got you. Because the kids are minors, parental responsibility. I'm about to find this. I don't want to play the video, but I'd like to know the exact kids, right? I definitely would like to know who these kids are. Let's see. Okay, kids that did this to him. See if they show it at all anywhere. I'm very curious if they have any information out there. I seen some stuff, but filter 4 to 20-minute video. Let me find it. All right, so this is a whole different case. That's not even that case. Let's put up for this week. Police release body cam video. Oh no, that's Nashville. Not that one. Melissa Joan Hart helped Nashville kindergartners escape school shooting. That's another topic I want to touch up on. That school shooting. Who's this? That's Trent. Hey boy, hey, what up, baby blue? Welcome. What's going on? Justice for Trent, for sure. Make sure you guys sign that petition. Let me know if you sign it. It's not showing me. So this is the petition link that I just made. It'll make a difference. It doesn't matter who signs it. I lived at 1459 Main Street, right by the Chinese restaurant in Mass. Yeah, I know exactly where it is. I used to go to that restaurant down there by the tattoo shop. I used to go right down there. Trent spoke today and said he will get justice. I just read that article. Sign. Thank you guys for signing. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for signing. I'm sharing it on Twitter real quick. We put this up on Twitter. Please sign this petition. Trent. Like that. Why is it doing that? I'm putting it on Twitter to share it with my Twitter people. I spelled his name right. Hopefully I didn't spell that wrong. Yep, that's right. Yep, justice for Trent is already a hashtag, so please sign this petition for Trent. Okay, bam. Shared it on Twitter. We're good. Thank you, Mar. I appreciate that. Thank you for creating the petition, T-REV. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Read a couple articles. I'm gonna keep that petition rolling around too. Let me put that up on here, and I want to talk to you guys about this other case too. There's another one that I'm gonna actually, on my other channel, I'm gonna do a spirit box on it. I'm about to show you guys what I'm talking about here in 1 second. Make sure you guys sign the petition that we made live for. Boom. All right, there we go. I signed it. Thank you. I gotta know. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. I have signed and shared. Thank you. Thank you for signing and sharing the petition. Thank you, Gypsy. Thank you, Addie. Thank you, Danette. Hopefully I said your name right. Giving antidepressants to someone who does not have the doctor's prescription is really bad. Crime in itself. Absolutely, because it fucks with you mentally. It's crazy. Maybe refresh the page. Let me refresh it again. Damn. All right. Yeah, we're almost at 100. We're almost at 100 on the petition, right? We're there. I see a couple comments down there. So I see people that put comments down there. This young man, both said this young man needs justice. We're at 43. I could see them going up. We're at 43, 44. So we got it. We got it up 47, 48, 49. It's moving fast, actually. 50, 55. Damn, it's jumping up by fives. Thank you guys for signing. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys sign it. Let's reach out, right? Why not? Sign. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Sandra says I sign it and share the petition to my Facebook page. Yeah, I need to share it on mine too when I'm off here. Nancy, how you doing? Welcome, Nancy. Crystal, I don't know. That's crazy. Thank you guys for signing up. Round of applause to all of you. Thank you. Over 500 in here, only 200 thumbs up. Yeah, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It's free. It's free 99. It's free 99. These kids are just like Sammy. Don't get me back into that Kylie Rodney shit. I'm telling you that right now. On a personal debate, and I'm talking to all true crime in general. I do this type of live true crime time with T-REV to talk about true crime, right? So you want to talk about Sammy and Kylie Rodney? That's wild. A police source said earlier reports indicating that Lil Kemp is on autism spectrum are not true. So he's not even autistic? Thank you, Candy Rapper. I appreciate it. Thank you. So you don't have a party, alcohol, and illegal substance in university, not learning education. Why would you send your kids to do that? I see 55 signatures so far. Yeah, it showed me about 60. Saying for me 60 or 59. It said 60 but went down to 59. That's weird. Let's reach out. Absolutely not. Hold up. Absolutely not. The state will pick up charges whether he wants to or not, especially because of the injuries. Right. I mean, he literally almost died. Welcome, Athena. Everybody welcome Athena. I signed the petition. Thank you, Arlene. Those spoiled, privileged pieces of shit. Hey, I agree. Looking like 37 sign. It says that he is not autistic, but he does live with depression. There is a GoFundMe. It's at 33,000. Don't like that number, but I'm sure it'll move on from that number, right? Definitely a small world. Definitely a small world. Have you seen the Florida case? Dad killed baby mama and 3-year-old missing and father in hospital not speaking. Yeah, I seen it. Rachel, we talked about that at the beginning of this live. I don't know if it probably pushed you to where we're at now, but we definitely talked about that at the beginning of this live. I even watched JLR's coverage on it and was looking at the alligator that was in the lake or river or whatever it is. But yes, I have seen the one on Taylor Mosley. R.I.P. Taylor Mosley, the 2-year-old kid that was killed by his father. If you're just joining us, we are talking all things true crime. If you also want to call in and have a conversation, it's 219-885-9693. Don't be afraid to pick the phone up and ring. And I need to not have it on Do Not Disturb. My bad. I see a 206 call, 352-541-918. My bad, guys. I didn't even know I had Do Not Disturb on. I'm an idiot. Detective John. 628-720-951. Jeff 757-252-903-702. Who else? I'm just saying the first 3 digits. Damn, Detective John was trying to bust through this bad boy, huh? My son is autistic, Asperger's, or Asperger, right? Isn't that how you say it? Am I pronouncing that right? He was bullied in high school. The quarterback of the high school team slammed him on the ground, stopped and fractured his jaw. My son was terrified to press charges. School did nothing. That's fucking insane. I can't stand a bully. You have many blessings, family. Thank you, Just Debbie. I appreciate that. 352, what's going on? Your live. You can hear me? About to say, what weird. Let me refresh the page. Maybe that's on my end. 352, what's up?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
352, what's up? You can hear me? Hello? Yo, I swear. I know they can hear me because I gotta know heard me. I think he is autistic and ADHD. So some people are saying that he's not now. All things silver. It says 50 people have signed now. That's good. Actually, it's went up majorly. We're at it says 76 have signed. 352. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yeah,
352 is Florida. I don't know why they're not picking up. And I got through.
Yeah, the stream is delayed, so you know what I mean?
Oh.
That's why you can't hear me at the same time. Yeah, that's you hear me late right now because it's like a 20-second delay.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I called you. I'm a little upset. Because first I thought he was autistic, and I have an autistic grandson. So I was getting upset. I can't get involved in this one. But no matter what, you shouldn't do that to any human being.
Right.
I don't understand. What is happening in this country?
Do you have an echo in the background? I want people to be able to hear you. I can hear myself talking. If you could
Can
just
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine, but I hear the echo. I don't hear it no more though. You're good now.
This is my landline. There's always a problem.
It's fine. No. It was the stream playing in the background. That's all it was.
Well, I'm going to read up more on this case to really comment, but I just don't get it. It makes no sense. Someone is tortured unless he's afraid to say anything. You know?
It sounds like it from what I just read, or maybe he does say though, like, well, I haven't heard the voicemail myself, but it said that he said justice is coming. So hopefully that's right.
I hope so. Well, very good coverage on the little boy.
Yeah, that
And,
one I was watching all weekend. I was watching when they were.
Oh, that hit me bad. Oh, my God. Especially when he first came out and said that the mother was killed and they were looking for the little boy. And I'm pretty familiar with St. Pete. They call them ponds. They're swamps. The divers couldn't even get underneath the water. They had those big long hoses to breathe.
Right.
It was black. And I said, oh, my God, I hope this kid don't get, hurt by an alligator. An hour later, my heart was going boom, boom, boom. That's scary. And I feel sorry for the grandmother and the great-grandmother. My heart broke for those two women.
An angry
Yeah, there ain't no doubt about that. Because I caught that live when they were when they did the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And they
the
had
first conference, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my niece used to live in a complex like that, so I really know. I'm going, oh my God, there's gators walking around. Before she goes in her car after work, they stamp on their feet so they can get in the car. Oh God. I don't know. I just feel bad for this young boy now. Now we have to pray for him.
We definitely have to pray for him. I don't know, it's sad, but I don't even know what's going on, but there's just multiple tragedies just coming in left and right. I mean, it's been going on for a while, but it seems like it's picking up more and more and more and more. Every day I wake up, I see
That's right.
a new lost person, somebody that got murdered. I mean, literally, my fiance's father, a guy that he works with, literally, he just searched his car the other night. Right. And then the next day or the 2 days after, he killed his wife and his daughter. And I've been trying to find that case because, he worked with the guy and I'm like, he could have came in and committed suicide and mass shooting or something. But he went home and killed his daughter and his wife. Crazy.
It is. But I don't understand why it's not on the news. You know why? They don't know how to investigate anything. They really don't. It's a shame.
Right.
You know what I mean? The journalists of years ago, they used to go out, investigate, find out something, make people feel safe. This isn't right. And it's all our young. It's our youth.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, how are they going to run this country? They're all screwed up. I mean,
it's going all over the place right now with the country, to be honest with you. We
Yeah.
got a lot of division going on.
Too much.
A lot of people are divided, and just, even though people have, it's like people have different, thoughts or opinions on this and that, and nobody could get together and put good into this world. So no matter what, I know that with every disagreement that I have with someone else, that I know there's something in there that we can agree on. So, you know what I mean? Like, if that makes any
right.
sense
You
at all.
have to be open-minded, come halfway, try to understand their views. No, they just don't talk. They don't communicate.
Right.
Right? It's the communication that's missing.
It is the communication that's missing big time. There's nobody wants to get together and solve problems. Everybody just wants to be divided and stay in their own lane, and which I get it, because there's
I understand
evil.
it because I try not to get involved because you don't know what's going on.
I mean, there's evil, so you gotta know who's evil and who's not, and it's hard to really tell that.
Well, I'm way older than you, and we could spot evil when I was growing up. This evil is, oh my God, it's sickening.
How old are you, ma'am?
Me? I'm 71.
Okay, so all right, so you're 71. Would you say that crime from the time, from you being a kid up till now, would you say things are worse now, or was it worse back then, or was it the same?
Well, right now it's worse because when you have an argument or a fight. When I grew up, we used to call them gang fights, but now they're gangs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
You fought with your hands. You fought with a bat. No, you know they're coming out with the knives. I mean, they even had chains when I was growing up. I grew up. I can't tell you where I grew up.
It's okay. You don't have to say.
I'm proud of it, but it's changed so much. And you're right, it did get worse. I never thought I'd see the 60s or the 70s again. And here we are, and it's worse. People can't make money. They're depressed. That's, you know, you got to think of it all ways. And if you talk to Sal, give him our love. I'm going to hang up because I'm talking too much.
Nah, you're fine.
But God bless you, really. I've been following you, and believe it or not, you calm me down.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad I can make some type of impact on people's lives
You do.
in some way. You know?
You're good, and I don't want to say, you know, but you should be very proud of yourself. Believe me.
Well,
because I could see you speak from your heart. You know.
Right.
Well,
Not only that, I get to talk to people who I get to get on here with you guys, and you guys.
Yeah, it's all different experiences. So we're all getting along. I mean, it should be like this, but we could all try, but see how far we get.
Right.
You know. How's the dog?
He's doing good. I gotta go get the antibiotic for his head, and they're gonna remove the top he had the top tumor or whatever it is before it spreads around to his body.
Oh, okay. Oh, poor thing. Okay.
But I mean, he'll be okay. You know.
All right.
That's all that matters.
I'll pray for him.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. You have a good night.
You
and
too,
it's so
man.
nice to hear you pray and everything else. That's what we need more of.
Yes,
So have a good night, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you
My
so much.
pleasure.
God bless you, man. Lock your doors, stay safe, and stay vigilant, and watch out for these fucking weirdos preying on everyone.
I will.
Please
God bless
stay
you.
vigilant, because that's very important. A lot of people go out and they just don't pay attention to their surroundings, and you know.
See, I was brought up that way. Always look behind you. Don't put your money in one place. Put it in your pocket. Put it here. When I say all these things, they go, "Where were you born?"
Right.
I says, "I know where I was born, and it's Brooklyn." And you could hear it in my voice.
Yeah, I can hear
I'm
New York in the accent.
Yeah, I can't help it. And when I moved, they tell me, "Oh, you know, you have an accent." I said, "So do you." You know, it's always that snapback. You always have to go back, trying to remain calm. But, you know, this is the way you were raised. Thank God my girls listen to me. You get in the car, I don't care what you do. I did it with roll-up windows and your elbow, and to lock the car, you used your elbow. So be careful out there.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful. That's for damn.
God bless you, honey.
Keep it locked and cocked. Seriously.
You know, I know, believe me. Have a good night, sweetheart.
You too, man. God bless you. Keep your doors and windows and stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
You want to call in 219-885-9690? Make sure you call up. Beautiful caller for sure. The world is crazy. Understand that news is not instant now, so we hear about things as they happen, and that amplifies the bad, which becomes the focus. Keister, you're right. I agree with that. Mental illness is the new global pandemic. 100% caller. Mental illness. Hold up. Post this bad boy. All right. So if you hit !Trent, it'll bring up the petition that I just made for him. Let's see what we're signing. Oh, damn. Okay. So we're being heard. It's telling me we're at 99. Who's going to be the 100? Can we get 100? What's up? Can we get 100? Let's see. I see this young man deserves justice, and all involved needs to pay for what they did to him. Thank you, Lori. If you're listening, I just read that. I'm not Cynthia. Thank you. This young man was tortured, and his aggressors need to be held accountable. Love it. Casey Trent needs justice. Carissa, she says, let law enforcement know that they need to do their job and get justice for Trent. Absolutely. Hearted all day. Sam Briggs, disgusting behavior. Absolutely. Brooke, thank you. This young man deserves justice. That's a fact. I see you, Shella says Hazen needs to stop this criminal defense. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody who's actually signed in the petition, because I don't know why these police haven't even charged anybody yet. It doesn't even make sense to me why they haven't. Who's going to be the 100th person to sign it, though? I signed. I see you. I signed. Steve Summer Love. Thank you, caller. We appreciate you. Most definitely appreciate it. Hey, T-REV, I will make believe I didn't see the Cowboys gear. Just kidding. I'm all about the 49ers being that Bay Area boy. Shout out to you, man. Hope y'all get your ass beat by us this year. Connections is why. A guy I dumped in high school now sends me subtle bullying Facebook messages like talk about vindictive. I ended the short high school relationship when I was 14 and I was 17. It was 20 years later. That's crazy. Debbie says, where are the parents of the house? Right. Where are the parents? I don't know. It sounds like somebody was involved. Somebody had to buy the alcohol, right? Somebody had to. I mean, you can steal them from like alcohol. You can go into stores and do. We used to call it. What do we call it? Like a alcohol run or whatever. Motherfucker run into the store and run out with 2 cases. They used to do that all the time at the 7-Elevens in Virginia. The concept of fun is gone. Ain't no doubt. A guy I don't. Okay, I read that one. So my bar went all the way back up. I love my T-REV family. Thank you. I appreciate it. Heartbreaking to see none charged yet. What's the holdup? Evidence served to them on a silver platter and still nothing. It's a damn shame. It really is. It's a damn shame that it's taken this long to even have anybody charged. They should all be in juvenile facilities right now. Your kid is not safe to or safe around these people. These young boys that did this to Trent, they're not safe. Or should I say, there is in your child. If your child hangs around these boys, they are not safe. Let me see. Let me pull up this other case I was looking at. Now that I made the petition, we can keep the petition running. If you want to pull the petition up, all you got to do is hit ! all lowercase Trent if you want to pull the petition up for anybody. So I put that as a command in Nightbot. So 1 second here. Now this is the next case that I've been looking at very closely because I'm curious on what's going to happen. Now, as you all know, I know you're all familiar with the Murdaugh family. Everybody is familiar with the Murdaugh family. They watched the trial. There was thousands of people, or should I say maybe millions of people around the country, or just in America. I know there was people out the country watching it, but I'm saying I know there was millions just here in our own country watching it. And a lot of people seem to think that Stephen was killed and after watching the Netflix series on what happened to or just the Murdaugh family in general, everything that took place from the boating accident, Mallory, all of that, the whole entire situation, right? So you had Stephen, who was found in the middle of the street. They recently exhumed his body. I think it was murder. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you think in the chat. Shot his own son. Let's see. I'm nobody to tell people to do better, but humanity is unbelievable. Every day I want to be why my dogs think I am. All this craziness going on in this country, people feel hopeless and depressed, scared, don't know if we are about to be in World War III. Nothing but bad news every day. Boys and men need to be encouraged to be masculine and express that in healthy ways. Kick the girls out of Boy Scouts for heck's sake. Wait, father is there at the house? No wonder their kid is such a loser. Which one? Are you talking about You're talking about whoever's house they were partying at, right? Mama 5K says, my fear is what crime these kids will commit. Okay, my fear is what crime these kids will commit next if not held accountable. The next victims might not pull through and they could somehow, die. And I agree with that. That's why I'm saying something's got to be done. And I did read that too. Somebody dropped the article in Discord on his mom passed away 3 years ago, which is crazy. Gone Nuts says, I was wild as a kid and did not put up with shit. As a grandma, oh Lord, it's hard to keep my mouth shut. Got to do better, people. Ain't that a fact? But yeah, I think Stephen was murdered. I'm going to jump straight to the gun. I think Stephen was murdered. Just like Mar just said right there, I definitely think Stephen was murdered. I think that, and then if you watch the Netflix series and when they sit down and they talk about what they talk about, right? When it comes to Stephen, it's like the rumors that they heard, that Buster was having a relationship with Stephen or whatever on the low, allegedly speculating. If you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. We are speculating right now, but in general, who thinks that the Murdaughs have something to do, or Buster? Put one in chat if you think he has something to do with the death of Stephen. I want to see. There's been a lot of people been hitting me up about this case specifically, and I already been tuned into this part of the case with the Murdaughs, the Stephen part, because I think that there was something there with that after watching the Netflix series and hearing the girl speak on the rumors that were at school and shit like that. That would be a reason. I just signed a petition. Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that. Thank you for everybody who did that. 1-1. Are the socials? 1-1-1. Okay, 1. I believe Alex did have him murdered. 1. No. Nancy D said no. 1. Damn. Everybody in here besides Nancy so far. Lindsay 1. Sweet 1. Justin 1. Sando rocks. I think murder, but lots to that story. Stephen had a side life separate from nursing school. What kind of side life, though? Because I haven't dug deep into it yet, but we are definitely I'm doing a deep dive on it. I want to find out all about Stephen. 1. Damn. Tons of ones. I think we need to get kids off the internet. Ain't that a fact? I want to know what they found from Paul's phone to reopen the Smith case. That's the big question. Happy Faces 1. Marty plus 7. T-REV in chat, I think he was murdered. So you think he was murdered? Marie says 1. Definite 1. 1. Damn, I think Paul did it and Alec covered it up. So you think Paul did it? You don't think Buster did, allegedly? So you guys don't think that Buster, or it could have been Buster and Paul, allegedly, right? It could have been Buster and Paul. See, Stephen Smith, Murdaugh, Buster. Where's that new one I just seen that was actually really good? The fuck is it? Okay, here we go. Investigators say Stephen Smith wasn't a... Yeah, let's check this out. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I like shit.
But first, this hour, we return to the low country of South Carolina as the investigation into the death of Stephen Smith heats up. Stephen was found dead in the middle of a country road in 2015. It was ruled a hit and run.
If anybody wants to call in during this, let me take this off. Do not disturb. If anybody wants to call in, I'll pause the video and you can tell me your thoughts on this case or whatever you want to talk about.
Something many people are questioning. Chanley Painter returns to the scene of the crime as we go through newly released documents and audio recordings with Stephen Peterson, the investigative consultant who has spoken to witnesses, examined evidence, and investigated this case. Tonight we are live from the Low Country, taking an in-depth look at the death of Stephen Smith. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got 2 big hours tonight, 2 big stories. We'll get back to the Gwyneth Paltrow story in the next hour. This hour, though, we're going to start with a case everyone is talking about, and it goes back to 2015 when Stephen Smith was found dead in the middle of a road in the low country of South Carolina.
On our way to 200.
At the time, it had local notoriety, but there weren't a ton of media outlets from around the country and around the world talking about it. Well, they are now. And they are because of what happened this year, which was the prosecution of Alec Murdaugh, who was convicted in 2023. Now, from the outside looking in, from here, it's like, well, what does one thing have to do with the other? Well, that's really the question here. And it's a big question. We don't know. That's why this investigation is now heating up, and people are hoping to get.
You have a good night, Steve. Appreciate you joining, man. Have a good night. Everybody say good night to Steve.
Some answers as to whether or not there is any connection. But the fact that Alec Murdaugh has been convicted changes a lot down in that part of the country, especially down in Hampton County. It really changes the perception of the influence of the Murdaughs and their ability to control investigations, control narratives, and perhaps skirt justice. That's over. That game ended with that conviction for double murder by Alec Murdaugh. Now he's facing a series of things. We know about that. But let's get back to Stephen Smith, because there was an investigation, and a lot of those materials have now been released.
Mac, you think Paul did it? I'm pretty sure Nancy said she thinks Paul did it, right?
From the original investigation, which seemed to come to the conclusion that this was a hit and run. Which, by the way, a hit and run, you still have to solve the case because somebody struck him, killed him, and then left the scene. We don't know if they did it on purpose or if it was an accident. But what we really don't know is if that even happened, or if it was just the fact that his body was found in the road and there was a presumption and an assumption that it was a hit and run. Does the evidence match the conclusion? And by the way, we still have to figure out who's responsible for this. There's a family that deserves answers, and someone needs to be brought to justice for what happened here. So we're focusing a lot on this week. Chanley Painter, Court TV legal correspondent, is returning to the scene and is back down in the Low Country, visiting different locations, speaking to people, and going through all of those documents that have now been released and trying to put some pieces together here. And Chanley Painter joins us now.
You know where that interview's at? Truth be told, that'd be interesting to check that interview out. If you have it, you can send it to my email. It's TREV757psn@gmail.com. So TREV 757psn@gmail.com.
Now live from Hampton County, South Carolina, where she has been all day, where there's been some weather, some rain, etc. Chanley, great to see you. So let's start with the scene of the death of Stephen Smith, where someone took his life. One way or the other, someone took his life. What did you see today? What did you find out? And what sort of struck you about the scene?
Yeah, great to be with you, Vinny. I'm here in downtown Hampton, South Carolina, in Hampton County. About 10 miles, actually like 10 minutes from where I'm standing would be the location where 19-year-old Stephen Smith's body was found in the middle of the road. And like you said, it was a bit rainy earlier this afternoon. We were out there, but here is what I learned. Let's watch. It was here along this rural Hampton County road in the early morning hours of July 8th, 2015, where a passing motorist spotted a body lying here on the center line and called 911.
Hampton County 911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, I just going down Parkerville Road
I see somebody laying out.
It was a warm
Thank you,
Wednesday
Sam Panther. I
morning
appreciate
around
the gift.
4 a.m. So that means it was dark out here. There are no streetlights on this narrow 2-lane highway, just some power lines. The road flanked by a field on one side and then trees on the other, with a couple of houses around the area. But within minutes, on that early morning, Hampton County Sheriff's officers responded to the scene. They soon requested the South Carolina Highway Patrol, but what they saw here raised a lot of questions. The location of the body was odd. There was no glass in the road, no skid marks or other vehicle debris. The victim, who police later identified as 19-year-old Stephen Smith, had no injuries consistent with someone being struck by a vehicle in the road. In fact, his loosely tied tennis shoes were still on his feet, and his undamaged cell phone and car keys were still in his front pocket. Stephen Smith looked only to have trauma to the right side of his head that investigators first believed was a gunshot wound. Anthony, according to reports at that scene, the assistant coroner pointed out to the investigators what she believed to be a defensive wound on the victim's hand. But ultimately, later that day, when Stephen Smith's body was taken to autopsy, the medical examiner determined that it was a cause of death was due to an apparent hit and run accident. And that, of course, changed the course of the investigation from then on out. Let's take a look. Go ahead. I want to show you this scene as mapped out in 2015, Vinny, because, again, SLED was involved initially in the investigation because those initial first responders believed that this was a homicide. Here's what that depiction looks like from investigators. This is the SLED crime scene investigators put this together. It shows the positioning of the body in the middle of the road. Those first responders really only noted injuries to the head area. There were no broken bones, we later learned. And then the location itself was suspicious, according to these reports, because usually a hit.
Dr. Thrifty, I got your email. They say you sent me an email 13 hours ago. I got it. Screenshot.
Run, a body isn't usually still in the road when being struck by a vehicle moving 55 miles per hour. And also, his shoes were still on his feet. His phone was undamaged. His cell phone still in his front pocket, along with his keys. This phone is key to the investigation. However, they had trouble unlocking that cell phone, Vinny. I have confirmed they did unlock it in 2017. It is now in the possession of SLED, of course, but that will be key leading up to who may be responsible for this. But another thing that stands out is the location of the body of Stephen Smith, and of course where his vehicle was found, is only a few minutes from where he's now buried. We passed it several times today, working on these elements and putting together the story for you tonight. Here's what it looks like. It was definitely the most decorated gravesite in the entire cemetery, Gooding Cemetery. His mom, Sandy Smith, has told me that she likes to collect cats, cat figurines, and place them at the grave there. He loved animals. He loved cats. And this grave, this headstone was actually provided.
I want to see that.
Funds from a GoFundMe account a year or two ago. They raised money to make this nice, beautiful headstone. You can see it right from the road, Vinny, as you drive up and down Bamberg Highway, not far from. Oh, actually, it's on Sandy Run Road, not far from where he passed away.
All right, Chanley, stand by. I want to bring you to our conversation in Charleston, South Carolina, investigative consultant Steve Peterson. Steve, great to see you again tonight. I know you've spent a lot of time working this case. Let me start with what I saw.
I seen that, Jolie. So that's like, that signals that he was in the passenger seat to me. Personally, when I seen that the wallet was tucked in between the seat and the door that you open. So, and that proves that, one, he had his wallet sitting on there and there was some type of struggle and it got knocked off into there, or two, he was in the passenger seat, which logically, I think, two, he was in the passenger seat. But hey, I could be wrong.
I saw a road that seemed very straight in one direction. The other direction, there was a bit of a curve. Is there any theory by those who believe it's a hit and run which way the car was even going?
No, I don't believe there was any theory in that respect. As you said,
in the middle of the night. There's no street lights. There was little ambient light from the moon. The weather was just not, it wasn't a starry, bright lit night. So you couldn't really tell from that location you're showing right at the moment. You can see it straight, but looking back the other way, there's a slight curve. They show a cornfield on one side. Corn was quite high back then. 2015 on the other side, there were more woods. They've since harvested a lot of the trees, so that lot looks more mowed down. But back then, you can see trees on one side, cornfield on the other side. So you can't really tell in which direction the vehicle was traveling, if in fact it was a vehicle that struck Stephen.
Right, and I always come back to that because the first thing I think about is it's not a super busy road, it's not a super highway, right? So if you're walking down the road, would you hear the car coming? Would you see the lights coming, whether it was behind you or in front of you? And how would you end up getting struck? It makes no sense to me how you could be wandering down the road and hit under those circumstances on that particular road.
Yeah, no, you're right. Especially at night, you'd see the oncoming headlights long before the car got close to you or the truck got close to you. You would have indication that there was a vehicle coming. And in fact, Sandy, Stephen's mom, was very adamant that he would not have been walking in the road. He would have been along the side or even kind of off in the ditch. Being a 19-year-old openly gay man in that part of the state, he's very reluctant to be out in the middle of the road. He's more secretive or more guarded, we'll say, than the average person. So he wouldn't have been in the middle of the road.
What did you think of the position? Yeah, what did you think of the position of the body? And where it was found.
That's where my family's from, Pittsburgh.
Position that it was in, the fact that the cell phone is not damaged.
Well, there's a lot of questions that come into mind. I am not a highway investigator. That's not my forte. I was a paramedic many, many, many years ago. I've seen more than my share of car accidents, but I didn't investigate them. So a lot of the information that I received regarding the accident, I would forward on to my colleagues who are also retired. Some of them are active duty in various agencies.
Hold up. I found it.
Court TV is on the ground gathering the very latest. Let's take you out to Hampton County, South Carolina right now, where we find Court TV legal correspondent Shanley Painter, who has a closer look at the stretch of roadway where Stephen Smith's body was found, and she has with her a special guest.
Hey, good morning, Julie. I returned to the scene where Stephen Smith's body was found in 2015, and I spent about an hour with crime scene expert Dr. Kenny Kinsey. You may remember him as the star witness of the Alec Murdaugh double murder trial.
Shoots Paul in the back of the head like this, and where does the blood spatter go?
The blood spatter, the pellet defects, and one that I didn't know about that the expert collected was in the door frame at the top of the door.
Dr. Kinsey, one of the things that you said stuck out to you in the investigation report, the lack of physical evidence here at the scene. Talk to me about that.
Well, typically, Ms. Chanley, you're going to have car parts, plastic, glass, those lenses, they don't hold up to a lot of impact. And the ones that I have worked that were intentional, and also the ones I've assisted Highway Patrol with, I believe there's always been debris.
Dr. Kinsey, you've marked the spot where we believe Stephen Smith's body was found. Now, on him, in his front pocket, Dr. Kinsey, his phone, undamaged, and car keys. His shoes down here still on his feet, loosely tied. The damage, according to the reports, to the head area only is what they observed here at the scene.
It doesn't take a lot of force to break a cell phone. I do it all the time. And I can't imagine that Mr. Smith was struck, and with the friction of the highway, it's unforgiving. It's hard to explain how that phone wouldn't be damaged. The shoes, like I said, I've never been a trooper. I've assisted on a number of them, and everything that was said earlier about the shoes, I believe the shoes are, at least one of them is usually ejected.
Right.
the lack of damage to the clothing, and that's what I have done. And I look at the clothing, and I don't see a lot of defects in the clothing that is caused from contact with the pavement. And the positioning on the middle line, I mean, at bare minimum, I don't think a person could mistakenly hit someone and not know they hit someone.
Now, SLED is investigating this as a homicide. And so, you know, let's say they return here to the scene. What are some things they're going to be looking for here? Show me what they'd be looking for.
They're gonna probably come back just like we talked this morning, if they haven't already. I don't want to speak for SLED because I know all those men and women. And they're going to come back. They're going to do their own measurements, and they're going to find their own characteristics in the horizon and their own features. And they're going to map this thing, every inch of it. That's already good. We're close. Look at here. That's 30 foot, and it's 32 foot off that hole. So where's this area right here? His feet would have been in this area, and then his head in that direction.
Dr. Kinsey, there's a lot of unanswered questions about this scene, things that maybe the new investigation will reveal. Maybe some of those answers will come to light, but there's some things that maybe we just will never know about what really happened here, right?
Yeah, Chanley, that if you knew 100%, it would always be perfect. And evidence degrades over time, memories fade, things are missed. But I believe the key here is someone knows. Someone knows, because people can't be quiet, and somebody knows, and they're scared to come forward for whatever reason, but somebody knows, and the Smith family deserves answers.
And Julie, Dr. Kinsey told me that one of the main pieces of the puzzle he wishes he had now would be the answer to the exact injuries that Stephen Smith sustained before he died. And we may have those answers sooner than later, as the attorneys for Stephen's mother, Sandy Smith, are seeking permission to have his body exhumed, and we are expecting a big announcement from her attorneys coming up on Monday. For now, Julie, I'll send it back to you.
Gas station.
Our thanks to Chanley Painter for her reporting this morning. And speaking of the attorneys for the Smith family, we have them both joining us now.
All right, so this is the phone. This is what a lot of you were saying was sus, I'm pretty sure. So let's jump into it real quick.
Store. About who?
Harassed at a store shortly before he was found dead.
That store. About who? He didn't say. He said it was a couple of guys in a pickup truck. If I recall correctly, he said they were rednecks. But I know.
Did he ever give you a description of the pickup truck? Yeah, he may or may not.
He said it was big and it was tall. He didn't give me a description with the mud tires. But the last time we talked that night, before the phone went down, and I said to him, "Are you walking or not?" I called him back. Or was that before? I know at one point I heard mud tires. I heard big mud tires. Big mud tires.
Damn.
And
in other words, when you say you hear
in the background,
you hear whining, is what you're trying to say? Like,
yeah, I hear the mud tires like they're coming towards him or going past him, because they sounded loud. That they were getting louder, and that I believe was the last time I talked to him.
So you didn't ask him what was going on? What are you doing? You asked him what he was doing?
At one point, yes, I did. He said he was coming to me.
No, when you heard those mud tires, you didn't ask him
what's going on. Because first I heard a semi, then I heard the mud tires. Right after all that, it went down.
Okay, Erica, please tell us anything you can share with us about Mark Bigheart, if you've spoken with him, if Sandy Smith has spoken with him, and what you make of what he's sharing here with police.
Well, first, I'd like to say it's an alleged boyfriend, because that hasn't been confirmed.
Oh, okay.
We get a 1 in the chat, because I was thinking about going and doing a spirit box on this one. I did one on Idaho 4. I did one on Kylie Rodney. I did one on Trinity Backus. I did one on missing persons. I was thinking about doing it though. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you want to see a spirit box session done on it. I can see if I can reach out to Stephen.
That's important. Okay.
Number 2, SLED is determined that he was not credible in many things that he offered during that interview and in a second subsequent interview. I do not believe that he was going home, that he was going to meet Mark. I believe he was going home if he was walking, and we dispute that he was even walking because there's some evidence on the bottom of the shoes of flat mud that wouldn't coincide with walking on the cinder of a street. He would have the imprint of the street. But for instance, Julie, let me give you an example. Yesterday or the day before, I received an urgent phone call at my office from somebody named Sonia. When I got on the phone, she said she was Sandy Smith and that she had already exhumed the body and that we're trying to steal all her money from the GoFundMe page. So sometimes in these high profile cases, there are people who inject themselves who may not.
All right, so I see a majority of you that do want to see that. So if you want to see that, subscribe to here. And I'll start it right after I end this live on my second channel. That's all paranormal. I'm keeping my paranormal shit separated from this channel. I'm doing all my paranormal work on this second channel that I have right here. Make sure you subscribe to there if you don't want to miss it and you want to come over there. And if you're not into it, then you're not into it. But if you're into it, subscribe to that channel because that's where I'll be at doing a lot of those. I sometimes do 1 hour sessions, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've been as long as 6.
Not be legitimate or may have some connection, and they embellish the connection to a larger extent. We have not talked to Mark yet, as our purpose right now is to focus on the exhumation of the body and getting it down so an autopsy can be done. The investigation will begin, and that's what Dr. Kinsey's going to do. But I don't believe the first person he's going to go to is Mark.
I appreciate you sharing that, Eric. And Ronnie, let me go to you on this one, please. You all are being asked a lot of questions right now. There are so many questions surrounding his death, as you both know, and everybody wants answers. That being said, is there anything you wish you would be asked in interviews that you haven't been thus far, please?
No, yeah, I think the questions have been pretty consistent about, what are our intentions? What are the next steps? And obviously we got to keep a lot of that close to the vest. If there's a question I guess I wish people would ask, it's, what can we do? And especially for the folks in Hampton County, this is a small community. It's impossible that people connected to this crime haven't spoken to other people. So what you can do if you have information is call SLED, call the tips line, call us.
Sounds
but
good.
At some point in time, someone has to break the silence and step forward and share something. And it's going to be the smallest thread that leads us to solving this crime.
Well said. Well said, Ronnie. Eric, let me go to you, please, with the last question. So many of our viewers, we have an endearing term, we call them our courties, are watching this, hoping for answers, trying to solve it. They've become very invested in it, and their hearts are breaking for Sandy Smith, for Stephen Smith's twin sister, for the whole family and everybody who knew him and loved him. Is the Smith family aware of all of the love and the public interest and some of the support that's out there for them right now?
Not only they are aware, but we get cards every day to Sandy and her daughter telling them how much the people love them. Ronnie yesterday got a letter with a check for $100 for Sandy Smith that said, look, we know that you live a modest life. We don't want this to go to the investigation. Right. We want this to go to you. I just read that card to Sandy this morning. She is just humbled beyond belief. They are aware of it. Every time I get on our website, somebody sends us a message, just give our love to Sandy. We send it to her. At times she can't even talk because she's crying so much. I mean, this is a single mother who for 8 years has been championing the death of her son.
That is crazy.
And people really show good spirit. One of the things that Ronnie and I have come to learn is that people are pretty good, really good. After 35 years of practicing law, we're pretty jaded. But throughout this process, we cannot believe that just the goodness in people that they're willing to do for Sandy. Look, the GoFundMe is over $120,000. And Julie, that's with $5 and $10 donations. That's not somebody coming in and writing a $75,000 check. That's a lot of people. And these donations have come from Europe, from Asia, all over the world.
My goodness. And it proves your point that there are so many good people, so many more good people than there are bad people in this world. And that's really the perfect note to end on. So glad that they're feeling all the love. And the Smith family is in wonderful hands with you both. Thank you kindly, Eric Bland, Ronnie Richter. Every good wish as you both continue this investigation. And please come back on and join us soon and give us an update.
Okay, so on that's crazy. That's crazy. What do you guys think about that boyfriend's little interview that you heard? The alleged boyfriend. The attorney is from Philly. There was no dirt, oil, etc. from a body being ran over. Just he said just had injury with paint flicks. We appreciate you all being here. Yes, we do, Callie. Yes, we do. Sad. Hold on. You said sad. Sad when Sandy refused to allow the Murdaughs to direct the lawsuit for a hit and run. Stephen's case went silent. That's fucking crazy. Sounds like a metal bat to the head. I think the boyfriend needs to be investigated a lot further. I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out because on November 25th, I'm gonna go do a spirit box session. Now, none of that is based to be true, right? But in general, I like to do paranormal investigations myself, and I did it on the Idaho 4, whether people believe it or not. On November 25th, if you go back to my November 25th live that I did a session right off the bat, and I don't use anything that's connected to computer devices whatsoever. Only use what Ghost Adventures uses, and that's a SB7. When I did my spirit box session and I asked who was responsible for the murders on November 25th, it said Brian right after that, admitted. Clear as day, a woman's not wait, what's up, you love? You hear me?
Hello?
What's going on? You live. You got an echo though.
Okay, let me shut it off. It's Chris from New Jersey. How are you?
What's going on, Chris? You live.
Not much. No, I've been watching your show, looking at the new stuff you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're from Indiana. I'm kind of into the spirit box too.
Nah, I'm from Virginia.
From where?
Virginia Beach, Norfolk, VA 757.
Oh.
I live on the Chicago, Indiana border.
Oh. Have you ever been to that Demon House over there?
Nah, hell no. And Gary? Nah. Where Zach Baggins had that Demon House? Hell no.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit. I just, oh my God.
I stayed the hell away from that side, man. No.
Yeah, I was looking at the Smith case here, and I got to tell you, I think the key to this whole crime, what's going on with it, I think it's the car. If you notice, there was a few shots of the car. It was a little yellow, I don't know, Geo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that the what's it called, the gas door was open with the screw taken off for the gas cap, right?
Right.
So that's hanging down. I mean, was the car ever checked? Did it stall? Was it inoperable, or was it working, or did he run out into the road trying to wave someone down for help? You know what I mean?
That's a good question.
I think the car is the key to this case, and I've seen, I've done, I've been a government vendor for a long time, so I've seen a lot of, mostly with vehicles, I've actually done crime scene cleanups in vehicles as well. I actually did them myself, which I don't even want to get into that. Bad, but what you call it? I've never seen a guy get hit by a car and his shoes not come off either,
Right.
So, it's just I don't know. It's crazy, but there's something definitely going on for him for them to exhume the body, and, I hope the kid gets justice, deserves it, family and all that. But yeah, that's, I think the car is the key to the case,
Absolutely.
And I don't, I know a lot of evidence is there's things missing or whatever they were saying, but with the car, I don't know where the car is at. I don't know if it was crushed, it was destroyed, it was salvaged, or whatever. But I mean, you could find DNA in there, just like Kohlberger's car,
Right.
So I just hope that thing was preserved or something, because there'd be a lot of evidence in that car.
Soon.
Yeah,
no doubt. There's got to be. I wonder where they have the vehicle at. That's a good question. Steven supposedly ran out of gas. He was thought of being awakened to his dad's 30 minutes away.
Yeah, I mean, if he
walking to it.
If he ran out of gas or the car broke down, he pulled over to the side,
Mm-hmm.
ran out to the street. He's waving someone down, for help. But I can't see you going in the middle of a road in the middle of the night, dark, up there. You know what I mean? Trying to wait for help. But if the police went into the car and it started right up, they would know that somebody either coerced them to get off the road, or pushed them off the road or whatever. But I think the car has got a lot to do with the key to solving the case. So
it's crazy. Mom. Okay, so mom has the car. Sassy Sunflower said.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
Why not check for DNA in there? Look for see who was in there. All right, this guy's been in this car 20 times, and this guy. All right, we got his DNA, but who's this guy? Or who's this guy? They've never been in a car with him. They don't even know him.
Right.
I think that So, I mean, the kid's been he's been departed for what? 6 years now? 7 years? Was that 15, 16 that happened?
What, and the Stephen dying?
Yeah.
16?
16.
I'm not sure about on the date. I forget exactly. Stephen Smith death. I'll Google it right now just to make sure, because I think it is 2016, but it could be 2017. No, actually, we're both wrong. It's 2015.
Oh, it was 2015. Okay, so that's a long time, So he's probably different clothes on and everything when they buried him and stuff. But I think that car is the key. If you got the car, I think that's a good place to start.
I'm gonna do a session on it just to see what I come up with, because on November 25th, when I did the Idaho 4 murder or spirit box session, which when I go into these sessions, it's like, okay, I take everything with a grain of salt. But after there was an arrest, I went back and reviewed, and it's still up live right now, November 25th. The date I did a spirit box on November 25th for the Idaho 4, and I said 16 minutes into the stream, I go, who was the person responsible for the murder? Yeah, as soon as I asked who was the person responsible for the murders, it instantly, right after I asked that question, it said Brian in a female voice, loud, clear, you could hear it 100%. It said Brian, and then after that, it was like they were telling a message, because they mentioned shady cop. It said shady cop and all types of different stuff during that whole session. It's like 4 hours long, but it's so intriguing when you listen to it now that there's been an arrest made and you listen to what they say. Like when I said, Ethan, where were you murdered at? And he goes, on the mattress. And it sounds just like it's not like a robot voice. It sounds just like a male voice. If you go listen to it, it's all right there. It's crazy. It blew my mind. It actually scared me a little. I wouldn't say scared me, but it rattled me for the whole entire day when I went back and listened to it, because the fact that they were able to name the person that's arrested now, and it sounds like after the female goes Brian, a woman goes Kohlberger. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
I got to tell you, I just with the spirit box and stuff like that, I some people frown upon it or whatever, but I've always been open-minded to it, and I'll tell you why. I had a couple things in the past that I've seen and I had a couple friends that are just like straight up guys, like, would never like make up a tale or not even joke around and stuff like that. That's seen stuff. And I've seen something firsthand that I don't even, and it was 2 or 3 times. And so I got to keep open-minded, Was I dreaming? What was going on? But I try to keep open-minded with everything. There's always you're always learning, I'm the same, I'm the same age as Detective Don Johnson there, Miami Vice.
Detective Juan Johnson?
Yeah, I talked to Don Johnson. He reminds me of Don Johnson living on a sailboat with the alligator in Florida, on Miami Beach Marina.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times fishing, without some famous guys who are on the ESPN and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, has he been around at all, or have you talked to him, Detective John?
No, I haven't. I talked to him maybe the stream before last. So yeah, I have talked to him.
Yeah,
I definitely had talked to him since.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I mean, he had I know he had the stroke and stuff. He's a good guy. He speaks from the heart. I mean, he probably sometimes, goes overboard a little bit, but he's speaking from the heart. He's a good guy. So
yeah, no, a lot of people say that, like he'll go overboard here and there. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, but he's speaking from the heart. So
we all got our own thoughts and
yeah, I even when it comes to politics are the biggest thing to talk about. I mean, like the worst thing like I want to talk about, being if you're a business or something like that. So you give everyone an equal opportunity with kind of like their own opinions and stuff, and try to respect them, and the world gets along.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's just with this guy here though. The Smith case, there's going to be some stuff coming out, but I was thinking about it when I put my 2 cents in about the car and stuff like that, because I know a little about crime scenes and stuff with vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I just wanted to call in, and I'm glad you're doing good. I like to see you online, and hope you get a Sirius XM contract one day.
You never know. I definitely need to sharpen up a little bit though.
I think that'd be great. A Sirius XM, they come set the stuff up at your house. You work a few days a week.
Shit, I'm down.
Get an agent, man. Get an agent. Get that shit together.
No doubt. I'm definitely down. I'm down for that.
You got great people skills. I'll tell you. You got people calling in from 17 to 85 years old.
I love it.
That's a talent, man. I got to tell you, you got a really good thing with people vibe. Something you can't learn in college or anywhere else. You just it's in your DNA, dude. I
appreciate that, man. I get along with people. I get along with people. So I mean, that's the number one thing. You got for everything that I can disagree with you on, we probably have something that's relatable. You know what I mean? That we've been through. You know what I mean? We may not have the same thoughts or have the same beliefs, but I guarantee that we can relate on something.
But you got respect, which goes such a long way with people, because there's so many people out there that never get a chance to talk, and they watch the mainstream media, and they're so like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end, and when you opened up your show to let people talk, call in live, and I sit here and watch your show sometimes when you come on, and there's people from all different walks of life, from all over the country, all over the world. Actually, it's a beautiful thing what you've accomplished. And don't let anyone beat you down or threaten you or anything like that. Because bro, I'll have your back.
I appreciate that, man.
You know what I mean? Just if you feel down, you don't want to come online, or whatever. You take a break. You're the captain of your ship.
Yes, sir.
You're the Captain Stubing of the Love Boat. So
I appreciate the kind words, man. I do.
So, but I'll let you go. I just put my 2 cents in, and thank you for letting me call in and stuff. So.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna go live on my other channel here in a little bit. So
I gotta find it because I'm on a smart TV right now. So
just look up T-REV 757 paranormal and you'll find it immediately.
all right, yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for the kind words, and hopefully I hear from you again, brother. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful night, man.
All right, thank you.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
God bless him. Shout out to him. Wonderful words. You say you want to hear it? Open-minded, down to earth is why we're here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'll let you guys hear. You guys want to put a one in the chat if you want to hear when I ask. This is November 25th. I go and I'm doing a session, a spirit box session, right? Which I take things, I'll hear things, and I may post them, right? But I take everything that I get with a grain of salt, because when you step into the spirit like realm, you're opening the gate for different stuff, right? But when I asked, what is the name of the person responsible? And I specifically reached out and said all of their first and last names, was made it clear, prayer, everything, that I could reach out to the Idaho 4 and just somehow get some answers, right? This was before the phone calls. This was before all of that. This is before we did the phone calls, the speculation all day, and we were live 8 hours a day. This was before all of that. Now listen. What is the name of the person responsible? Loud and clear as day. Hold up, run that back. Watch this. Loaded. What is the name of the person responsible? Brian, you hear that shit? This on November 25th. What is the name of the person responsible? Brian. That shit blows my mind still. That shit blows my mind still. That is the link right there too to that actual video. I'm gonna go do I'm gonna open up a live over there in a minute. Check it out. Yes, it is that one. S Storm here, actually right here, second channel. This is where I'm gonna be doing all that type of shit at, where I do my parents, because some people don't like it, right? This is my main channel. I have another channel specifically for paranormal and other shit that I do. Make sure you check it out. But that definitely said Brian. I was online when you did this, and yep, it said Brian. I said, what is the name of the person responsible? I didn't take anything from it, didn't even hear it the first time around. I went back and reviewed it. I went back and reviewed this shit not too long ago and found it after the arrest. But yeah, wild shit. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being here. I'll see you. I'll see everybody else over there. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the other channel where we do spirit box sessions, etc. Again, it's just you could type in T-REV 757 paranormal. You'll find it easier if you type that in. Let me see what comes up. Actually, it should be that. I'm not actually on paranormal. No, it doesn't. You have to scroll down a little bit, but it is there. I see we're at 700 and damn, we jumped up from 600 to 761. Make sure if you want to come by, subscribe to the channel, because I'm gonna do a live over there. I'm gonna do one for Steven. I want to see if Steven will come out and reach to me. He might not, but we'll find out. If you go to this page and look at the channels, it's there. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. See you guys over there. I'll see all of you over there. Thank you for coming by. I do appreciate y'all. Now, I'll leave you off with this real quick. Where's it at? We gotta play this, right? We got to play my song The Truckee Way, which I need a legit video made to this ASAP. Well, we can't listen to it chopped and screwed, though. All right, I'll see you guys over there.
Gotta stop doing this.
Look, all my life has been neglection, so now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsession. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is failing kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victims to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. fell kindly, and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed, and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just want to play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And NSF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom on the statements. All I seen was the devil in her eyes. Tony died, you're a fake. I can see it through your lies. Got Sammy on your stream like the FBI. You've been grooming little kids. I can see your whole disguise. It get Mel calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you gon' do it live? Santa May out here looking extra sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. Then you want it coming up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog but couldn't find the dirt. I guess that's what they mean by the Truckee way. If you step foot in the town, you might die from foul play. And I don't know what to say, but I can feel it through my soul. She didn't drive in LA. So y'all can try to go convince somebody else, cause I'm not falling for that shit. The autopsy really smells.
See, let me explain what I'm talking about, man. And you know what I'm talking about. No water in the lungs. Y'all test for the weirdest shit. I guess it is the Truckee way.
You gotta stop doing this.
I mean, I really guess it's the Truckee way, man.